For countless men across the globe, waking up several times during the night with a constant urge to urinate, or struggling with a weak urine flow has quietly become a part of life. Many accept it as a normal sign of aging, something that simply happens after turning worser like Sir. But the reality is, prostate enlargement isn't an unavoidable part of growing older. It's not a metabolic issue influenced by what's going on inside the body. Surprisingly, one of the easiest and most effective ways to support prostate health may come from something as small as a single nut. This particular nut holds the potential to reduce inflammation, balance hormones, and naturally restore prostate function without the need for medication or surgery. Prostate enlargement, medically known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, has silently become one of the most common health problems men face today. Yet, despite how widespread it is, very few men truly understand what's happening within their bodies or why it occurs in the first place. As soon as a man enters his worsers, he's told that an enlarged prostate is just part of aging, something inevitable and unavoidable. But what if that belief is wrong? What if this condition isn't a natural consequence of age, but rather the result of how modern habits, diets, and lifestyles have reshaped the body's internal balance? This is the silent epidemic no one talks about, one that doesn't have to exist. For many men, it starts quietly, waking up once or twice at night to urinate, feeling a weaker urine stream, or that persistent sense of not completely emptying the bladder. Over time, those mild symptoms turn into persistent discomfort, sleepless nights, and dependence on medications that may bring temporary relief but never fix the real problem. The prostate is a highly sensitive organ that responds to changes in hormones, inflammation, and metabolism, all of which are deeply affected by our diet and lifestyle. In traditional societies, men who ate natural, unprocessed foods, rich in healthy fats, and low in refined carbohydrates rarely face prostate issues. But in today's world, things have changed dramatically. Modern diets filled with sugar, white flour, processed snacks, and seed oils packed with omega-log fatty acids constantly elevate insulin, drive inflammation, and disrupt the hormonal balance that keeps the prostate healthy. In short, our modern way of eating has become the hidden fuel behind this modern disease. Insulin, the hormone that regulates blood sugar, also influences growth signals in the body. When insulin remains elevated for long periods, a condition called insulin resistance, it leads to fat accumulation, inflammation, and hormonal. For men, this means more testosterone being converted into dihydrotestosterone, or DHT, a stronger hormone that triggers excessive prostate cell growth. Over time, the gland enlarges. That's why men with prostate issues often also have belly fat, fatigue, and high blood sugar. It's all part of the same metabolic imbalance. Conventional medicine usually treats the prostate as if it exists in isolation, prescribing drugs that block DHT or relax the bladder muscles, but these treatments only manage symptoms, not the root cause. The prostate enlarges because the entire metabolic system is under strain from chronic inflammation, elevated insulin, and hormonal disruption. When these are corrected, the prostate begins to return to normal naturally. This healing process starts with small but powerful lifestyle changes. Reducing sugar, avoiding refined carbs, and cutting out processed seed oils can immediately lower inflammation. Adding whole, nutrient-rich foods, especially those high in healthy fats like nuts, olive oil, avocados, and fish, helps restore hormonal and metabolic balance. As insulin levels drop and inflammation subsides, DHT stabilizes and the prostate stops receiving signals to keep growing. Prostate enlargement, then, isn't just a part of aging, it's a preventable and reversible condition tied to how we eat and live. The body has a remarkable ability to heal when freed from inflammatory foods and hormonal stress. For men who make these changes, regaining prostate health often comes with renewed energy, vitality, and confidence they thought were lost with age. The so-called silent epidemic of prostate enlargement is actually a reflection of modern metabolic imbalance, not an inevitable part of male aging, but a lifestyle-driven issue. And just as poor nutrition causes it over years, consistent healthy choices can gradually reverse it. Recognizing this is the first step toward true healing, and it all begins with what we put on our plates. Inflammation lies at the heart of this problem. Yet, it's one of the most misunderstood processes in the human body. Most people associate inflammation only with visible symptoms like swelling or redness, but on the inside, it's often invisible, a slow, silent fire that damages tissues day after day. When it comes to prostate health, this chronic inflammation quietly reshapes the organ's structure and function, causing stiffness, overgrowth, and the uncomfortable symptoms that worsen with age. Every time we consume modern processed foods, sugary snacks, refined carbohydrates, fried items, and industrial seed oils, we unknowingly feed that internal fire. These foods cause blood sugar spikes, which trigger insulin surges and oxidative stress. In response, the immune system releases inflammatory molecules. Over time, this response becomes constant, trapping the body in a loop of irritation and repair. The prostate, rich in blood flow and hormone receptors, becomes one of the main casualties. As inflammatory compounds circulate through the blood, they infiltrate prostate tissue, causing microscopic swelling that puts pressure on nearby urinary structures. This leads to urgency, weak flow, and incomplete bladder emptying. Inflammation also disrupts hormone conversion, increasing DHT production and further encouraging prostate growth, creating a vicious cycle where inflammation feeds hormonal imbalance and vice versa. Processed seed oils make matters worse. Found in fried foods, margarine, and packaged snacks, they're loaded with omega-look fatty acids that promote inflammation. In contrast, omega sands from fish, walnuts, and flaxseed calm it down. Our ancestors consumed a healthy balance of both, but modern diets often contain up to 20 times more omega-look than omega-sen, creating a state of chronic systemic inflammation that harms not just the prostate, but the heart, brain, joints, and metabolism as well. High blood sugar is another major trigger. Every time we consume sugar or refined carbs, glucose spikes and insulin follows. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance, a state where the body needs more and more insulin to control blood sugar. Elevated insulin itself promotes inflammation and increases the production of free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cells and tissues. These free radicals injure blood vessel linings, DNA, and prostate tissue, leading to chronic inflammation as the body tries to repair itself. What's most important to understand is that prostate inflammation doesn't happen in isolation. It's part of a larger systemic issue driven by poor diet, lifestyle, and metabolic stress. This is why drugs that only target the prostate rarely bring lasting results. They suppress symptoms while the true problem remains. But when men begin to nourish their bodies with anti-inflammatory foods, lower their sugar intake, and cut out harmful oils, they not only experience relief in prostate symptoms, but also notice higher energy, clear thinking, and better overall health. The human body has an extraordinary ability to heal when given the right environment. Reducing inflammation doesn't require complex treatments. It starts with removing the triggers that cause it. A diet rich in vegetables, nuts, olive oil, fish, and antioxidant-packed foods helps to calm the internal fire that drives disease. Incorporating fasting or intermittent fasting can further lower insulin levels and give the body space to repair damaged tissues. Staying hydrated, getting deep restful sleep, and managing stress are just as important since chronic stress releases cortisol, another hormone that fuels inflammation. As inflammation begins to subside, many men notice their prostate symptoms easing, nighttime urination becomes less frequent, the feeling of pressure diminishes, and overall comfort improves. This is the body's natural healing process at work. Just as inflammation slowly causes damage, calm and nourishment slowly bring balance back. Prostate health isn't just about treating one gland, it's about restoring the entire environment in which that gland exists. When that environment is full of sugar, toxins, and inflammatory fats, the prostate struggles. But when it's nourished with whole foods, antioxidants, and natural fats, the prostate can thrive. The connection between inflammation and prostate health reveals a powerful truth. Healing doesn't come from fighting against the body, but from supporting it. When we cool the internal fire through proper nutrition and lifestyle, the prostate naturally returns to a state of health, comfort, and normal function. For decades, people were told to fear fat, to choose low-fat foods, avoid butter and oils, and rely on grains and carbohydrates. But this misguided advice has contributed to one of the greatest health crises of modern times. By replacing natural fats with processed foods and sugars, we didn't protect our health, we damaged it. One of the organs most affected by this shift has been the prostate. In reality, healthy fats are not the enemy, they are essential. They support hormone balance, cellular repair, and protection against inflammation, all vital for keeping the prostate strong and functioning properly. The prostate depends on a steady supply of testosterone and other hormones which are synthesized from cholesterol, a type of fat. When the diet is stripped of healthy fats, the body struggles to produce these hormones, leading to imbalances such as higher levels of DHT, the hormone that triggers prostate tissue growth. Ironically, low-fat diets can worsen the very problem they're meant to prevent by depriving the body of the raw materials it needs to maintain hormonal balance. Natural fats, on the other hand, bring stability. They reduce inflammation, strengthen cell membranes, and improve the absorption of vitamins A, D, E, and K, nutrients crucial for cellular health and immune strength. When the body receives the right fats, it becomes better equipped to regulate inflammation and maintain balanced hormone levels, both key factors in preventing prostate enlargement and preserving male vitality. Among all sources of healthy fats, nuts stand out as one of nature's most complete foods. They are packed with energy, minerals, and protective compounds that nourish the body and regulate metabolism. Newts provide omega-sanfat fatty acids, antioxidants, plant sterols, and trace minerals that collectively help reduce inflammation and support prostate health. However, not all nuts have the same effects. Some varieties can actually promote inflammation when consumed excessively due to their high omega-6 content. Peanuts, for example, though commonly eaten, are technically legumes and contain large amounts of omega-6 fatty acids, which can fuel inflammation. Cashews and pistachios are nutritious but also relatively high in omega-6. Almonds and walnuts, however, are excellent choices. However, providing antioxidants and beneficial fats, especially walnuts, which are rich in omega-3s. But there is one nut that stands above the rest in its ability to support prostate health, the Brazil nut. What makes the fats found in nuts like the Brazil nut so remarkable is how they work in harmony with the body. These fats do more than just provide energy, they function as biological regulators. The fatty acids and antioxidants they contain help combat oxidative stress, a condition where free radicals damage cells faster than the body can repair them. This oxidative stress is one of the main drivers of inflammation and abnormal tissue growth in the prostate. By supplying the body with antioxidant-rich natural fats, we slow this damage, allowing the prostate to heal, function better, and regain balance naturally. Natural fats offer another powerful advantage: their positive influence on insulin balance. Unlike refined carbohydrates that cause sharp spikes in blood sugar and insulin, healthy fats help maintain steady levels. When insulin stays stable, inflammation decreases, hormones stay balanced, and overall metabolism improves. Since both insulin resistance and chronic inflammation play a major role in prostate enlargement, keeping this balance is essential for long-term wellness. Natural fats also enhance the absorption of vital nutrients that protect the prostate, such as selenium and zinc. Without sufficient fat intake, the body can't properly absorb or utilize these minerals. Both selenium and zinc are essential for maintaining prostate function, hormone regulation, and antioxidant defense. In this way, healthy fats become the foundation of true nutritional synergy, allowing the body to make full use of what it consumes. For decades, the fear of fat has cost men their vitality. Avoiding natural fats and replacing them with processed foods, refined grains, and sugars has done more harm than good. Returning to natural sources of fat, such as avocados, olive oil, wild-caught fish, and especially nuts, can help reverse years of metabolic damage. These foods calm inflammation, restore hormonal balance, and rebuild cellular health. By doing so, they create the internal environment that allows the prostate to function as it was meant to. Protecting the prostate starts with understanding that fat is not a threat, it's a healer. Real natural fats don't clog arteries or cause disease. It's processed sugars, refined carbohydrates, and industrial seed oils that do. True fats are your body's allies, supporting hormones, soothing inflammation, and nourishing every system vital to a man's well-being. Once you recognize this, it becomes clear that healing doesn't begin in a pharmacy. It begins on your plate. Among all the natural foods that support male health, one stands out as a true powerhouse, the Brazil nut. This small, nutrient-dense food contains everything needed to influence hormones, reduce inflammation, and protect one of the most essential glands in the male body, the prostate. The Brazil nut is rich in selenium, zinc, and healthy fats that work in perfect harmony to balance hormones and prevent abnormal cell growth. When it comes to natural healing, few foods rival its power. Selenium is the Brazil nut's secret weapon. Though the body needs only a trace amount, that small quantity performs enormous tasks. Selenium acts as a master antioxidant, protecting cells from oxidative stress, the damage caused by free radicals. When free radicals build up, they harm DNA, proteins, and cell membranes, leading to inflammation and uncontrolled cell growth, two of the main drivers behind prostate enlargement and cancer. Selenium neutralizes these unstable molecules, maintaining the integrity of prostate cells and preventing excessive tissue growth. So, beyond its antioxidant role, selenium also regulates hormones. It helps balance testosterone and dihydrotestosterone DHT, the potent hormone responsible for prostate growth. While DHT is essential in small amounts, excessive levels trigger tissue enlargement, mypuris major mount. Tissue enlargement. Selenium supports the enzymes that control this conversion, keeping DHT levels in check. It also works closely with zinc, another mineral found in Brazil nuts, to support testosterone production. Reproductive function. Zinc is indispensable for prostate health. The prostate naturally contains more zinc than almost any other organ in the body, reflecting its importance. Zinc regulates cell division, supports immune function, and protects against inflammation. When zinc levels drop, testosterone decreases, estrogen activity increases, and hormonal imbalance follows. The Brazil nut's unique balance of selenium and zinc allows these two minerals to work synergistically, enhancing antioxidant defenses, maintaining hormone balance, and stabilizing prostate cells. In addition to minerals, Brazil nuts are rich in monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, the healthy fats that reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and enhance nutrient absorption. These fats help deliver fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that further protects the prostate from oxidative stress. Together, these nutrients nourish the prostate at the cellular level, reducing swelling, improving blood flow, and ensuring oxygen and nutrients reach the gland efficiently. Perhaps the most impressive thing about Brazil nuts is how little you need to benefit from them. Just 1 or 2 nuts a day provide more than the daily requirement of selenium. This makes them an effortless addition to any diet. Consistency, however, is key. Small amounts taken daily are far more effective than large doses taken occasionally. Over time, this steady intake creates a body environment that supports